This is how Jesus Christ's trial is recorded. The Pharisees' slaves brought him to the home of the high priest named Caiaphas, where the Pharisees were meeting up. Peter followed and watched from a distance. The Pharisees were looking for someone to lie about Jesus so they could kill him. While many agreed, none of their testimonies were usable. 2 men came forward, verse 61, who declared, "This man said, 'I am able to destroy the temple of God and rebuild it in 3 days.' This not only is true, but he did say this in day 4, according to John 2:19. 'All right,' Jesus replied, 'destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up.'" John says this is what he responds with when the Pharisees ask what authority he has to teach at the temple. Caiaphas asked Jesus what he has to say, verse 63, but Jesus remained silent. Then the high priest said to him, "I demand in the name of the living God, tell us if you are the Messiah, the Son of God." Verse 64. Jesus replied, "You have said it, and in the future you will see the Son of Man seated in the place of power at God's right hand and coming on the clouds of heaven." According to the Bible app, Jesus is referencing Psalms 110:1. "The Lord said to my Lord, sit in the place of honour at my right hand, until I humble your enemies, making them a footstool under your feet. And as my vision continued that night, I saw someone like a son of man coming with the clouds of heaven. He approached the Ancient One and was led into his presence." Jesus is saying they will one day realise he is the Messiah that's in Scripture. Caiaphas tore his clothes to show his horror. This is normal, verse 65, and said, "Blasphemy! Why do we need other witnesses? You have all heard his blasphemy." He asked for a verdict, and they said, "Guilty, and that he should die." Then they spat at Jesus. Some hit him, and they were, verse 68, jeering, "Prophesy to us, you Messiah. Who hit you that time?" While this was happening, Peter was referred to 3 times as someone who knew Jesus, and 3 times he denied it. Verse 75. Suddenly, Jesus' words flashed through Peter's mind. "Before the rooster crows, you will deny 3 times that you even know me." And he went away, weeping bitterly. John says that Peter was warming himself by a fire when he denied him, and the rooster crowed immediately after Peter denied Jesus the 3rd time. Very early in the morning, the Pharisees met to plan how to put Jesus to death. Then they tied up Jesus and sent him to the Roman governor named Pilate. When Judas Iscariot realised that Jesus is being put to death, he was, Matthew 27:3, filled with remorse. So he took the 30 pieces of silver back to the leading priests and the elders. He told them he has sinned and betrayed an innocent man. They asked him why they would care, and told him it was his problem. Then Judas went to hang himself. The Pharisees thought it would be wrong to put money used to pay for murder in the temple treasury. So they bought the potter's field and used it for a cemetery for foreigners. This field is called the Field of Blood. Verse 9. This fulfilled the prophecy of Jeremiah that says, "They took the 30 pieces of silver, the price at which he was valued by the people of Israel," verse 10, "and purchased the potter's field, as the Lord directed." Jesus is standing before Pilate on trial. He asks him if he is the king of the Jews. Verse 11. Jesus replied, "You have said it." When the Pharisees accused Jesus, he stayed quiet. Verse 13. "Don't you hear all these charges they are bringing against you?" Pilate demanded. Jesus didn't respond to any charges. This surprised Pilate. In Luke, Pilate believes that Jesus is innocent, but the crowd says that he is causing riots from Galilee to Jerusalem. When Pilate learned that Jesus was Galilean, he sent him to Herod Antipas, since Galilee was under his jurisdiction. Herod was excited to see Jesus because he had heard so much about him. He asked Jesus a lot of questions, but he didn't answer. The Pharisees start shouting accusations at Jesus. Then Herod and his soldiers mock Jesus. Then Jesus is sent to Pilate. On this day, Herod and Pilate, who were enemies, became friends. Herod and Pilate came to the same conclusion, that Jesus was innocent. Because of this conclusion, he decided to flog him and release him. To flog someone means to basically whip them using a whip with multiple heads with metal balls near the top. The Romans back then would flog someone before crucifixion. Every year during the Passover, the governor releases one prisoner that the people want. The decision was between Jesus and a notorious prisoner named Barabbas. It's sad that two Romans, who were against the Israelites at the moment, were able to make a better judgment on Jesus than the majority of Israelites themselves, the Lord's chosen people. Pilate asked again who they want to release. The crowd said Barabbas. Verse 22. Pilate responded, "Then what should I do with Jesus, who is called the Messiah?" They shouted back, "Crucify him." Verse 23. "Why?" Pilate demanded. "What crime has he committed?" But the mob roared even louder, "Crucify him!" Pilate saw that their minds were set. So he got a bowl of water and, verse 24, washed his hands before the crowd, saying, "I am innocent of this man's blood. The responsibility is yours." Verse 25, and all the people yelled back, "We will take responsibility for his death, we and our children." So Jesus was flogged and taken to the Roman soldiers to be prepared for crucifixion.